Vive le français! Bonjour mes amis, j'espère que vous allez bien. Today I want to show you, explain to you how to eat the cheese in France. So that's something that I see so many foreigners, they just don't know how to do. So usually when you are invited at someone's home, you have some bread like this. Okay? Let me put it well. So the bread will be in the basket. Le pain dans le panier à pain. Le pain, le panier à pain. Okay? And you have what's called la planche à pain. La planche à pain is to cut the bread. So you take the bread and you cut a piece of bread. Okay? Here. I'm cutting a piece of bread. So I cut a small piece of bread. Okay? In many restaurants, in most places, they will already give you the bread that's already cut. But if, or even if you are invited by someone, the person will do the service, so you don't have to worry about this. Okay? In fact, you will often have un panier à pain. This is un panier à pain. So the bread will be already cut and inside this. So people will serve you and you just take with the hand the bread, a piece of bread. Okay, just take one piece of bread, don't take too much. That's also a big rule. Don't take too much, don't start and take a big piece of cheese. Just take a small piece. If you want to get more, you can always ask for more. That's how it is. You shouldn't be like, take it all. No. Just eat what you need and take more if you need to take more. This is being respectful to others because you are not going to take everything. You just wait and take, you are between friends, it's casual, just eat a little bit and take more if you want and take more if you want. That's fine. That's the correct way. And the bread will be already inside of this basket. Donc un panier à pain. Panier à pain. Okay. Let me fetch a plate here. Then when the cheese arrives, the cheese will be on a plate. So usually we have several cheese on one plate. Here we have this cheese. C'est du... I'm not sure, I don't remember. So there is this cheese here. And there is this one. I think this one is la tome de Savoie. This one is la tome de Savoie. This is made of the milk of the cow. And this one is not camembert, but similar to camembert. It's similar to camembert. This. I don't remember the name. I will write it below the video. Similar to camembert. You need to know that since I'm in China, I don't eat much cheese. And in fact, I would advise you not to eat too much cheese because it's not very healthy. Now more and more people are saying that eating cheese, you cannot digest it, is the milk of the cow. And I would advise you taking more the goat cheese or the lamb cheese. This is okay. But the cheese that's made from the milk of the cow is not so good. Also, now, unfortunately, many animals, they get many injection and they will give them some special food and this. So the milk is not so clean. So whenever you eat, this is made of many liters of milk. So when you eat the cheese, you get a lot of milk. And this milk is not very clean, so you will get it inside your body. Anyway, back to the subject. So when you need to serve yourself, the cheese will be on the plate. Let me fetch the plate. Okay. The cheese will be on the plate like this. So it will be the cheese like this on a big plate. Okay. So you will cut a small piece. Small part. You need to cut it this way. You should never cut it this way because if you cut it this way, it means the one left will have this size. You see, the one left will have this size. This is not good. You always should cut it so that everybody cut it this way. You see, tack, 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 tack. Let me show you for the other one. The other one is the same. You see, the cheese is on the plate. This cheese. I'm not going to cut this way because otherwise people will be left. I take this part, I take a part like this and people will be left with this. So you need to cut it this way. If you are in the restaurant, don't worry, people will serve you anyway. So let's cut a small piece of cheese, okay? And now it's inside my plate. Okay, it's inside my plate. So you should never take the cheese with your finger. You should not take the cheese with your finger. You should not. In France, we don't use the crust. In the UK, some people they eat the crust, but we never eat the crust. This kind of crust, I know in the UK, some people eat it. This one, like camembert crust. But in France, never eat it. Just never eat it. So you need to cut. First, you need to cut the crust away. So you will cut it. If you cannot do it this way with the knife, you can help yourself with a small fork. So I cut the crust, you see, here it is. This I put it on the side of my plate. Then I take a small piece of bread, I have the bread here. I cut the bread, small piece of bread. I cut a small piece of bread. And I cut a small piece of cheese. You see? I cut a small piece of bread and a small piece of cheese. I put the cheese on the bread, like this, and then I eat. See? So that's how you should do it. Also, you need to know you will be offered the butter. So this is butter. The butter will also be on the plate. So how to do? You have the plate with the butter. Usually they will use the small plate like this. Let me show you. So we have the small plate like this. It's a plate for butter. The butter is on it. And that's how it is. And you have a special knife for the butter. So you help yourself. You take a little bit butter. You cut it, you know. A little bit piece of butter, you know. You cut. You put it on the side of your plate like this. And then when you are eating, first take a small piece of bread. Then take a small piece of butter. Okay? I put a small piece of butter on the bread. And then the last is take a small piece of cheese above it, like this. Okay? And then you can eat. So that's how to eat cheese. You should never do it. What you should never do is like do a sandwich. You should not take like, oh, I'm taking the whole piece of bread and putting the this and I open it. You cannot do a sandwich. It's not polite. You should eat small piece by small piece. Another thing that you should not do is take your hands. Like you take your hands like this and you put your. This is not polite. You should never use your hands. Always use the knife and try to use a small fork with it. Don't eat the crust. Don't eat the crust. Very important the way you cut the cheese. If you have to cut the cheese, cut it well. And the last thing is for the butter. Usually you will never use butter with. You will never take butter with the cheese if it is a soft cheese. So this kind of cheese, you don't take butter with it. This kind of cheese, usually you also don't take butter with it because it's not cooked cheese. So it's supposed to be soft cheese, so there is no butter with it. The butter, you can only use it when the cheese is hard cheese. Okay? So these are all the rules. But don't worry. Nowadays, people are very casual. And also these rules, there used to be these rules back in the days where you had many social categories. So upper French, etiquette and this. Now it's more casual. It's more casual. People are more casual. Ok? À bientôt les amis. Merci.